You're 2 blocks behind first and second.
We have more buildings to clear. You know our orders,
There's
Sergeant.
barely a building left standing or not on fire in your zone, Cole. Is your sector full of Japs?
Questioning my command.
The captain doesn't want anyone falling behind.
Tell the captain we will join him when the job is done.
Just give us the word, Sarge. We'll take care of him. He should be sectioned. That Jap lover's a fucking liability.
We're here to kill Japs, not our own people.
Star-crossed son of a bitch. No one wants to serve under him. He's bad fucking luck.
Can it? We've a job to do here. If I can live with it, you can too.
In elysischen Gefilden. Oh je, der hat auch einen kleinen Schlag weg.
House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs?
So. Ich hoffe mal, dass wir den Fall ein bisschen besser lösen als den letzten, weil der ging ja mächtig in die Hose.
You know the way. You can drive.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
One of the new housing developments, a couple of weeks from completion, burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers.
Aha. Also das mit der Wohnungsbaugesellschaft ist anscheinend noch nicht so durch. So, schauen wir mal, was los ist.
You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Ach du Scheiße.
Morelli, Mike, we recovered a picture of the family. Okay. Anything else? To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert. Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved. Ooh. I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved them into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
Das ist schon wieder so sonderbar.
What are they doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. The muscles and tendons contract.
Mhm.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them, Biggs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
It doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt. For the fire? For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. Probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
You could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
I'm sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating the pigs.
Wo sind der jetzt hin? Na, Kollege. Der hat es auch schon erlebt, hä?
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
So, dann
You
gucken
don't
wir
look
mal.
like a fireman, son.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
Mehr als anzweifeln kann ich da nicht.
You didn't like Morelli, did you?
Some neighbors you get along with, some you don't. Guess they should have sold up.
What do you mean?
They're knocking down all these old houses and building a new subdivision for GIs. Morelli was being difficult.
Genauso wie beim letzten Mal.
You said the Morellis had won a weekend away to Catalina Island?
Yeah, that's right. First thing I thought after the explosion was, thank goodness they was away. Then I find out they were still in there.
Who was running the competition?
What? I don't know.
I need more, Mr. Foreman. Tell me what you know about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
I know nothing about it. I've never heard of them.
You said someone is knocking these houses down?
Elysian Fields. You must know them. Their billboards, that Monroe character beaming down at you. We've had an offer for the house.
Did the Morellis want to sell?
I don't know.
You knew that everyone else had sold up, but you didn't know about your next-door neighbor?
Like I said, we had some history.
So, und nun? Also, nochmal. Wasserboiler haben wir gefunden gehabt. Da war ja sonst nichts, oder? Ja. Was liegt denn da?
How did you get my number, Ira? At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven.
Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Immer dieser komische Doktor, ey. Bin mal gespannt, ob es da noch zum Showdown kommt. So. Also. Nochmal rüber zum Nachbarn. Das kann doch gar nicht sein, dass es... Und mit dem kann man nichts mehr reden.
All a man can do is put in a prayer for the dead. About all I've got to say about it.
So, gucken wir uns so ein... Da ganz schön geflogenes Zeug. Ist da gleich eine Schubkarre. Müll ist auch nix. Da ist die Brandstelle. Ist da was? Da ist nix, das gibt's doch gar nicht. Da sind Fußspuren. Und Zigarettenstummel.
Someone was keeping watch. Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive.
Mhm.
Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere.
You are a modest little person with much to be modest.
Und jetzt?
I got friends who work at the Examiner. Put up $5 on it.
Ein Kollege ist immer noch da drüben. Das war immer noch nicht alles. Das gibt's doch nicht. Kann man den jetzt nochmal was fragen, wenn wir Zigarettenstummel gefunden haben? Aha.
Did you see anyone hanging around the Morelli's home prior to the explosion?
Nope. Can't say as I was looking out, though.
You sure, Mr. Foreman? There are signs of someone hanging around over there by the fence.
Hey, now that you come to think of it, there was a guy. Kind of tall. Skinny, though.
Anything else?
Orange lumber jacket, beat-up hat, and no hair. I thought he was the pest exterminator guy who was working around here the last few days. But that guy had hair.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Foreman.
Sure. Hey, if you're interested, I have one of those competition flyers in the kitchen. I could get it for you if you like.
That would be great.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
Wir bauen ein besseres Kalifornien. Elysischen Fields Developments.
For Elysian Fields Developments.
Ja, da sollten wir vielleicht dann mal hinfahren, ne?
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
Er sollte vielleicht nicht bei dem Preisausschreiben mitmachen.
Let me through. I just want a quick look is all.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads on the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe? He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Korrupter Laden.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Dann schauen wir halt mal bei dem Esco-Dings da.
Shame about Chep. The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Mercer.
Want to bet? Fella kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches. You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
Was ist denn hier los?
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America, dickhead.
sir. Now step back, or I'll lock you up for a
Smart
fray.
mouth son of a bitch.
Come back here. You're not getting off that easy. That's done it for. We're gonna have to pacify these poor saps.
Schöne Massenschlägerei hier. Ja.
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Da ist ein Steinlose.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap.
Und jetzt? Da haben wir ihn auch kaputt
If we're
gemacht.
paying a visit to elysischen and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
Scheint so, als hätten wir alles erledigt hier. Dann fahren wir elysischen Filz.
Can you drive to this one?
All right. Where to?
Wohin wohl? Karriere ruinieren. So. Gehen wir mal in den gläsernen Palast.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
Sam's taking the other Palm Springs for the weekend.
May I help you, Jim?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office. Do you like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs.
Komplett neue Wohngegend für die GIs wahrscheinlich. Rancho Escondido.
We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
Terrible, boys. How can I help?
Made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
So it's for the greater good, then. One man standing in defiance of what you think is best for the city. I thought an American's home was their castle.
I'm not sure I like your tone, son.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Level with me, Mr. Monroe. You know all about the vacation offers.
You can believe whatever you like, son. You're missing the vital ingredient called proof.
Ja, und was ist
Your face is all over the flyers, Mr. Monroe. You know about the prizes, and you're aware that they get given to holdouts.
My face is the brand. It's on all our advertising. Did you know that the mayor and the chief of police are part of the suburban redevelopment
Das ist
fund?
doch sehr korrupt, alle
You
korrupt,
want to accuse them
Alter.
of murder as well?
What's Elysian Field's involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulations.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
Ja, Pfeifendeckel. Zwar.
You're lying, Monroe. There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's no way in hell you can prove that my materials were inferior.
Ja, und der Ziegelstein? Wo ist er? Da.
I'm no expert, but I think we'll find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them?
Der ist so aalglatt, den krieg ich mir nicht.
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecue, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
The arsonists. Do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills. You suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
Das würde ja schon mal weiterhelfen.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
So ein Drecksack, ey.
Glad to be of help, officers.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Chapman, oder?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Ey, hallo Büro und kein Telefon da, oder was? Chapman. Bekannter Pyroman und Brandstifter. Formen. Formen oder Nachbarn. Na, weg da. So, dann müssen wir ein Telefon suchen.
Your boss is a fine man.
So Leute, wo ist denn hier ein Telefon?
What do you say, Constance? For me?
Ah, da ist eins.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks, man.
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love for me in it. Give me your heart,
Der schon wieder.
and baby I'll bill it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love. Some
Buy me a drink, Cole?
for the sake of another.
Not even. You're not gonna ask me why I'm here?
I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to it.
Is something quite other.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about the boy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you.
Will turn to surprise as you feel the pain.
Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errand boy.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Schade, dass wir den jetzt nicht alle aufs Maul
You
hauen
have no
können.
idea the type of people that are involved in that
I
company.
have a pretty good idea, Roy. The same kind of people that sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
Get the message about Monroe?
Yeah, Earl delivered it. You?
McKelty started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that, Herschel. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
KGPL calling car 11K, 11K.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did, but I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has, Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stumm just like you do.
Ja, aber die Ermittlung bei Chapman, die erfahrt ihr im nächsten Teil. Danke fürs Zuschauen, tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal.